What's good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from LifestyleDid.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create your own one-shot sample from scratch. So all we need to do is get something that can produce a tone. In this instance, I took a wine glass from the kitchen because it creates a cool tone. So we're going to record that into a microphone. The better quality mic you have, the better quality one shot you're going to get. But use whatever you can and just kind of have fun with this. Today I'm going to show you just kind of one way to take something from around the house and then use it as a one-shot sample. And you can kind of do this, get creative, and maybe put together a kit or just have it for yourself. It's really fun. It's a really cool way to get creative. So let's get into it. Let me show you how I'm going to record this. All right, so I have my recording in here. I'm going to go through this and listen to which one I like that sounds the best. You can see we have quite a few hits. So we're going to kind of go around and listen to them and see which one is going to be the best. You can see this is the one where I kind of held the glass, so it kind of had a quick decay. This one seems like it'll probably be the best. It looks like it might be the best, but let's go listen to them. So let's start with the first one. And you want to be really quiet while doing this. You can see in here, you can hear me moving. Especially since we're holding it, you're going to want to try to be as quiet as you possibly can. That one was a fail. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's going to be our winner. So let's go zoom into here and let's go ahead and cut this out. So we're going to start right at the beginning of this. Don't want to leave too much. And then let's just get it all the way to the end. We're probably going to fade this out drastically anyways, but let's just go ahead and take the whole sample. So let's drag this over here. I have Keyscape open to layer underneath, later on and kind of check and make sure the pitch is right. So let's go ahead and just name this. We'll just name this Bell for right now to make it easy to look at. Let's normalize it, and then let's just turn the volume down. I just want to see how this looks, and then let's go ahead and listen to it. Let's get a little bit of a fade out going. So it sounds like it's holding pitch pretty well. Let's go into the audio editor. You can either do it this way or you can use a pitch corrector like NuTone. This seems like a pretty static pitch, so I don't think it's going to drop off too much. So it's registering C sharp, so let's go ahead and tune that. And I'm probably going to fade this out a lot and add my own reverb to it for the tail so I can have more control of the pitch and make sure it doesn't, go out of key. So I have it now tuned, so it's going to be registering C when we hit C. And the next thing I want to do is actually cut itself. And then over here, I want to turn down the attack, up, sustain, down, release, and create this so I have full control over how long the note is going to play. So let's go into piano roll. And let's go ahead and see how long we want it to play. I'm just going to really listen to the sample. Going to listen for when it starts to kind of sound bad and veer off. And then from there on, I will be controlling the decay with a reverb. So let's see. Let me go over here, mess with my out time a little bit. And the reason I'm doing this is, like I said, I'm going to have the reverb go ahead and be the tail of this. So let's go ahead and link this to a mixer track. I have one called One Shot, and then I have the keys over here. So now that we have it linked in here, the first thing we're going to do is actually bring up an EQ. And I'm going to just cut out some of this low end that I don't really need. It's more registered at a high for a bell. And I actually want to bring out some of this top end. So let's go in here. Actually, what we're going to do is just give it a small cut around this first resonant. Next thing I'm going to do is put Waves Kramer on it. And this is going to give it some saturation, kind of warm up the sound a little bit. So we don't want to go too crazy with this. All right, that's sounding good. Let's go ahead and put something like a chorus on it maybe. And then we'll go into the reverb and the delay. So now let's go ahead and throw a reverb on it, and I'm going to turn my dry signal down and my wet all the way up just so I can kind of hear my decay time and how it's sounding. Let's get out some of this low end, tiny bit of the high end. And now let's blend this back in. So that is going to be the actual sample. So let's go ahead and just render that. So let's go over to the master, open up a new Edison, and let's go ahead and record that in. So this will be our new sample that we're going to be working with. And let's just bring the volume up a tiny bit. I'm doing this by Alt A. And let's go ahead and bring this back in here. And this will be, let's link it to a new mixer track. So we'll call this Bell 2. And you don't have to do it this way, but this is the way I like to keep it so I can have the original and the new processed one that I'll be keeping. So let's go in here and go to pitch corrector and just make sure, all right, we're registering around C, so that's good. That's how I want it to be. And now let's listen to our sample. All right, that sounds good, right? Now let's go ahead and affect it as if it were being used, you know, in a beat. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put a huge reverb on it. So that would be the dry signal. And now let's put a bigger reverb on it and a delay. And let's put probably a quarter note on it. See how that sounds. So what we're going to do now is throw in some type of MIDI real quick. So I'm going to go into the Super Producer bundle. There'll be a link in the description below if you want to get 7 free loops and MIDI. And then after that, you can go ahead and get the Super Producer bundle. We're going to take one of the MIDIs out of here. Let's just take 13. Make sure we have cut itself on. And let's drop that on the keys as well. So here's what this would sound like. Okay, that sounds good. And now let's see what it sounds like on our bell. All right, and before we do that, we have to actually go in here and mess with our attack, decay, sustain, and release. So let's turn the attack down. Let's turn the decay down as well, sustain up, and release down. We'll actually have the release be a little bit out like this. And now let's go ahead and listen to it. Okay, so for this, let's go ahead and layer it with the piano, and let's leave the chords on the piano, but go ahead and take this top melody and have that play with our bell. And let's just see how that sounds, because it'd be cool to layer it like that. So let's see what this would sound like. So that sounds good. We can go in here and mess with our attack so we can have it kind of more of a fade in if we want. Can get really creative with this. We can also pitch it right from the beginning because it's just a one shot. Or all the way up. This pitch sounds good though. So it really depends kind of what you want to do with it. We can, you know, extend the release, bring down the sustain. It really honestly just kind of depends how you want to affect it, which is really cool with one shots. But you definitely want to pay attention to the envelope area, and then you want to pay attention to making sure it's the correct pitch, because this is going to be a lot of the automatic stuff that goes on in VSTs when you're playing different things. But when you're using a one shot, let's say you're playing chords, you're going to probably want to have a shorter release, because when you go to switch chords, it might blend over. You want to make sure you have cut itself on. So really pay attention to your volume envelopes, make sure your pitches are correct, and then just have fun, add effects to it, and then layer it in, and you can get some cool stuff that sounds like this, what we made so far. And just for fun, let's actually change the pitch of this. So select both and transpose, and let's go down by maybe 2 semitones. I have no idea what I just clicked in. -2. And let's see what this sounds like. So now I've created this cool bell. I'm going to call it a bell out of a wine glass. So hopefully you guys like this tutorial. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more creations of one-shots from complete scratch, go ahead and drop a comment down below. Maybe what else you want to see me make, and I would love to do tutorials to kind of help you guys out and show you cool ways to really make a one-shot kit or just one-shots for yourself to have fun with from complete scratch. Random things you can find around. You can go record instruments, you know, a guitar if you have a flute, or a recorder, or anything that you kind of have, or just objects around the house that you think can create a cool tone and keep pitch, and just really get creative and have fun with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site lifestyledidit.com for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.